All right, we are recording. My name is Chris Rolfe. I'm the founder of Bold SEO Marketing. Daniel, who are you?
Chief Operating Officer, experience with website design and development.
Cool. Hey, wrangled you into the Friday tip today. I want to talk about the concept of micro SEO strategies, how that's a game changer, how any company, no matter of the size, can actually get to the top in Google. We're going to show a real customer example. Daniel, you were critically involved in this project, so I wrangled you into this video. Let's get right into it. But then if you want to learn more about micro SEO strategies, I gave a 30-minute presentation at the SEO Square e-conference, and I'm including the link to the video below in this YouTube video. And then also the link to Daniel and I recently hosted I think a 75-minute webinar. I include that as well, as we also spoke about micro SEO strategies. That said, why don't I share my screen and then we'll get right into it. Okay, so let's do an incognito search so that Google doesn't take my previous browser history into consideration. So let's say if you want to be found for the keyword best pour spouts, right? That was one of the keywords that our customer was targeting. Check this out. This is our customer. They are #1 for, it's a pretty competitive keyword. We're beating, you know, like really big companies, including, you know, this Amazon, etc. And then if we want to go super short tail, let's go pour spouts. You got the image ads up here. There's people advertising for it. Amazon is a beast, but we're right here organically #2 for the super highly competitive keyword pour spouts. Let's click on this piece. Daniel, tell us about what was the concept behind why did we get this piece of content ranked in Google at the top?
Yeah, for sure. So this was the focus of our micro strategy, right? And in this micro strategy, we actually picked this page, which already existed, but it was ranking, I think, in page 3, and it was a really short little blog with not much content in there. And what we did is we said, hey, let's get this really awesome opportunity, which is ranking already, page 3 for a very competitive keyword. And let's turn this simple piece of content into the ultimate guide for pour spouts. So what we did is we went out there, did some research, we put some history, some infographics, everything you need to know, frequently asked questions, everything that everyone needs to know, and created this amazing piece. Then once this piece was in place, then we went out and we did a lot of off-page stuff to really tell the internet that this is now the ultimate resource for pour spout information. And what Google did is Google looked at this piece and said, wow, this is really a good resource. And that's why we're ranking up there with you know, Amazon and some of these big websites. So that's essentially, you know, our focus on here, and really, you know, the focus that we use in a lot of our micro strategy campaigns.
Exactly. Yeah. So we basically took something that was already ranking in some form or shape for some interesting keywords, and we made it, you know, 20, 30 times better. As you can see there, this is now a very comprehensive guide about pour spouts. Let me show you how this page is ranking. So we're heading over to our favorite SEO tool, SE Ranking. If you're looking for a really cool tool, it's a paid tool. I do recommend SE Ranking. It gives you a ton of information. This is the ultimate tool to, if you want to do SEO yourself, that will give you amazing insights, etc. All right, so this page, I'm running a competitive research on this page. Let's go full screen here. All right, it's now ranking for roughly 460, 500 pour spouts related keywords. Check this out. We're at the top in Google for some of these really interesting keywords. related to pouring spouts, etc., right? I mean, the results are truly remarkable. And then the really cool thing is this page is now ranking globally for these search terms. So if we take a look at, is this page ranking in the UK? So I'm going to do an incognito search. I go to a website called isearchfrom.com. So you can check out search rankings results around the globe. So let's say best pour spouts. Let's how about London, city that most people know. Then we're going to use google.co.uk. That's how people search in, that's the Google extension that they use in the UK. All right, look at that, image ads on the top. Boom, Daniel, number 1. So
in England.
Yeah, this page ranks globally for many of these keywords. Yeah. So if you want to learn more about micro SEO strategies, go ahead and check out the presentation that I gave at SEO Square and the webinar. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Daniel, any last thoughts?
Yeah, it's actually yesterday I was having a conversation with another owner of a SEO agency, and it's interesting because we were talking exactly about this. And the way we look at micro SEO campaigns is really the way that, you know, the future of SEO, which is instead of doing 4 or 5 blog posts a month, what we're really focusing on is we're doing one piece every month, every 2 months. And instead of doing these little pieces, what we're doing is we're taking the time to do these really in-depth pieces, which are pieces like this example that is going to rank. One of the videos that I'm personally going to do in the coming weeks is something that, you know, that was kind of a shock for even this other owner, which is if you look at Google Search Console and you look at all of the pages that Google actually crawls but doesn't index, it's amazing. And you look at, and all of these little blog posts or posts that, you know, you're putting up on the site, Google's indexing, but they decide they crawl it, but they don't index it because they say it's low quality, which is really, you know, it really goes hand in hand with what we're doing. And instead of doing all of these little pieces of content, it's about taking the time and doing a really nice piece of content that not only gets indexed, but gets moved up to the top. So I think that's kind of a real big shift that's happening in the SEO industry nowadays.
Oh yeah, everything has completely changed. Daniel, I'll let you do the crawled but not indexed tip next week. Yeah, cool. Again, links are right there below in the YouTube video. If you have any questions, reach out. Daniel, thank you so much. Thank you for being part of this video. All right.
Always.
Have a good weekend, everybody. Bye.